Guys, what's going on? I hope you guys are well. I hope you guys are staying safe. I hope everything's good wherever you guys are. So, guys, Chris Algieri has said that Errol Spence would cause Canelo Alvarez problems. Now, there's a lot of people that think that Errol Spence can beat Canelo. I don't know on what basis. Canelo Alvarez is a guy that's fighting at 168. Errol Spence has never fought above 147. I think when people give their opinions, I don't know sometimes where there's a bias involved in it, because sometimes an opinion can be ludicrous. I mean, I think, like, obviously Algieri fought Errol Spence and he got beat up by Errol Spence. So obviously sometimes there's that. But I just don't see how Errol Spence, with Errol Spence's style, has any chance against Canelo Alvarez. And I'm trying to put that nicely. I don't see how he has any chance against Canelo Alvarez. Errol Spence likes to fight on the inside. He beats up his opponents. He basically makes them submit, or puts them, basically batters them from pillar to post. I don't know how he's going to do that to Canelo Alvarez, who's bigger, stronger, very fast, explosive, powerful himself. And we've seen welterweights, Porter hurt Spence. We've seen Ugas hurt Spence. Now, Canelo Alvarez is way bigger than those guys. He's way better than those guys. He punches way harder than those guys. I don't see how Errol Spence would... I don't think Errol Spence goes the distance with Canelo. I think he gets stopped. I don't see how he goes the distance, because I think Canelo's too big. He's too strong. He's too powerful. I do think that fight would be a massive fight in terms of finance. I think financially that fight would do very well. And I think they'd make a lot of money out of it for sure. I think it would sell. I think it would be a huge fight, without question. But in terms of in terms of that being competitive, I'm not sure. Because from what I've seen from Errol Spence's career so far, I think stylistically that fight with Canelo would be all wrong for him personally. I don't see how he wins that fight, and that's being polite. I don't see how he can beat Canelo. That's being, like I said, being polite. I don't see how he can win that fight. Canelo's too big, too strong. He's also very good on the inside. He's very powerful. His body shots are very, very dangerous, devastating. And he's basically fighting somebody that's just bigger than him, Spence. So I don't see how anyone sees Errol Spence causing Canelo trouble in that fight, because we know that Canelo Alvarez has got one of the best chins in the game. So Errol Spence ain't hurting him or knocking him out. No chance. So... And Errol Spence isn't the fastest guy. Him moving up to 160, 168 is going to make him even slower. So how Errol Spence is going to cause Canelo Alvarez trouble, I don't know. Because Errol Spence's game is based on... he's a pressure fighter. He comes forward. Don't get me wrong, he can box at range. But, I mean, he's not that good at range where he's going to be able to box and move. You know, someone like Crawford... probably could. Crawford has a bit more versatility than Spence. I just don't see... I think Errol Spence would have to fight a very disciplined fight against Canelo, where he'd have to box on the outside. And I just don't think he's good enough. I don't think he's got that kind of game where he'd be able to do that for 12 rounds. And he'd have to walk a tightrope, because Canelo's a very big guy. And just because Errol Spence is a big welterweight, that doesn't mean he's a big middleweight. Canelo is a fully grown now super middleweight. And especially fully grown he's definitely a fully grown middleweight. And I would even go as far as saying that even super middleweight, he carries himself well. Whereas Spence is not a super middleweight. Spence is not even a middleweight. Spence, at best, is a 154. You know, maybe you could fight a weak champion at 160. But again, like I said, even welterweights have trouble Spence. You know, in terms of they pushed him back. Porter pushed him back. Ugas was able to push him and stun him with a shot. I mean, imagine him going up and fighting guys that are bigger, stronger. that take, that be able to absorb his punches. That, Canelo Alvarez will be able to absorb Spence's punches and walk forward at him. So yeah, I don't think Spence gives Canelo much trouble, in my opinion. But that's just my opinion. I think styles make fights, and stylistically, I don't see how Spence causes him trouble. But yeah, leave your thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.